But yeah, my first drunk story was terrible. My first being high on weed story, that's totally different. When I was high on weed, which I haven't smoked weed in like 2 or 3 years now, I was, so the first time I smoked, it took me, we were smoking for like 30, 40, 45 minutes outside my buddy's house, and I wasn't feeling anything. Probably panic and cry. Not in my 2 years of watching. I could have swore I stole that story, but maybe I didn't. That's weird. But yeah, we were at my buddy's house, and I was smoking 30, 35, maybe 40 minutes past. I didn't feel anything. We were smoked a lot. And, I felt like totally normal, like I do right now. And then all of a sudden, like, something just hits me. My brain goes like lightheaded. I'm super like baked, and like just like everything just like gets like really intense, and just like kind of feels like you're in a dream. And I stand up from like the little porch we were sitting on, and I go, whoa! I shouted, and my buddy goes, shh, what? I go, I'm in a dream! And he's like, that's cool, man, shut up! So, that was like my first like time feeling that like sensation. Don't do drugs, by the way. If you've never done weed, don't do it unless it's legal and you're 21. Because it can result in just stupid things, which I will get to in more stories, because storytelling is fun. I said legal. Anyway, so like I got really high. We started talking about this stupid shit, you know, typical stoner talk, like, oh dude, this happened, the universe and all this shit. So eventually, my buddy tells me, he's like, all right man, we gotta go put this up. And he had like a spot that was in his front yard. So we start walking, right? And okay, just because I want to finish the story, I'm gonna pause. I said legal, do it legally. Oh, you sent me the clip. Yeah, don't get in that kind of thing. And if you have asthma, it's not worth it. But I was stupid. Hold on, let me listen. And don't do drugs, by the way. If you've never done weed, don't do it unless it's legal and you're 21. It does sound like I say illegal. In my brain hole, I said legal. But regardless, so me and my friend, we are walking through his front yard, and there's a tree in his front yard. And my buddy, he stops me. He's like, stop. I was like, what's going on? He looks at me. He's like, dude, if you just like, he just like does this motion. He does this motion, like closes his eye, pinches his fingers, and pulls, like he was like plucking a hair or something. And he's like, do it to that tree. And so I was like, okay. So in my vision, I put my fingers right in front of my eyes, pinch my fingers, and I pull. So like I was pulling at the tree, and I just start go, oh, dude, I'm so sorry. I just uprooted your tree. And he just starts laughing, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I just uprooted your tree. In my mind, I actually thought I uprooted his tree. I did not mean to say illegal. # not sponsored. This is not sponsoring weed. Actually not. Don't advocate it. I don't advocate it. But I pulled out a tree in my brain, and he starts laughing. And eventually we ended up going to that spot, we put the weed back, and we go back to where we were smoking. We take a seat just for a second because we're just feeling the high. And then eventually I tell him, I hit him on the shoulder, I was like, all right, dude, it's my turn. And he goes, what are you talking about? He's like, I was like, let me smoke it. And he's like, we just put it up. And I was like, did we? And then I started making him think that he didn't do it. That he didn't. No, don't put that in the title. Oh no, please, no, don't put all this bad stuff on my stream. But I started making him think that we had not smoked at all, that we had never even touched a weed, and or started making him think that we hadn't put it up yet. Eventually, he convinces me that we did put it up, and we end up going back inside. We start listening to music, doing what stoners do, watch videos, YouTube videos. Eventually, I start to feel like I'm laying down on the floor in his basement, and I start to feel like you know, if like your arm hairs start to move, you can kind of feel it when, you know, like you can kind of feel it moving. It's like I started feeling that, but like I was like really stoned. Yeah, don't ever touch weed. It's not worth it unless it's legal and you're 21. That's my premise on it. It's okay to do it at that point. But I started feeling like my arm hairs moving. I was like, oh, dude, this is crazy. I feel like my arm hair is moving. And then so I look at my arm and I was like, oh, this is crazy. And instead of my arm hairs moving, there was a fucking cockroach on my arm. And so that like snapped me out of whatever trance I was in. I was like, oh fuck! I smacked the cockroach off my arm and like I screamed really loud. It was so bad. I haven't done drugs since 2015. Yeah, I'm a good boy now. Yeah, so all that happened. And that really kind of snapped me out of it, and I really wasn't feeling it anymore. And I went to bed after that. And then, like to just like bring the story round the bend, round to like a sad but like good ending. I eventually I was smoking a lot, like a lot. It was a stupid amount how much I was smoking, and this is exactly why I don't smoke weed anymore. I would have never gone past weed, but I don't smoke weed anymore. I just drink alcohol from time to time, and I never get drunk anymore, ever. But just to finish this up, I went to a park one day and was smoking, and cops rolled around, and they pulled up, and that freaked me out really bad. They started talking to me. They gave me a ticket. They never arrested me, but they gave me a ticket. I had to go to court and had to do 24 hours of community service and pay $200. After that, I was like, yeah, nope, I'm done doing drugs. I'm done. So.